Hello everyone, this is Miss Mara and welcome back to my channel. Today we have a very special guest, and as you can see, it is not my usual video. We have Dark Garden Corsetry that I'm going to be presenting to you with the owner Adamme today. She has graciously allowed me to film in her store and to ask her a few questions on how she got started. Let's give a warm welcome to Adamme. Hello, please introduce yourself.
My name is Adamme, and I'm the founder of Dark Garden Unique Corsetry.
How long have you been making corsets?
I started Dark Garden in 1989, but I actually began my career in corsetry when I was 12 years old.
What inspired you to get into corsets?
I actually enjoy sculpting the human body, and corsetry is a way of doing that.
Why did you choose Dark Garden as the name for your boutique?
I was looking for something that was a little mysterious and romantic, and Dark Garden seemed like the right thing.
Do you have another location?
We do have another location. It's in New Orleans on Linden St.
Why in New Orleans?
New Orleans itself, just like the name Dark Garden, is a little bit dark and mysterious, definitely romantic, and it seemed like the very best place for our first additional location.
How often do you spend in each space?
I spend most of my time here in San Francisco because this is where we have our workshop. We do all of our corset production right here in the flagship location. And I spend a few weeks a month in New Orleans, just going back from time to time.
And where is the actual workspace here in San Francisco?
Here we are in the boutique, and it is just that way behind the curtain.
How many designers do you have working for Dark Garden?
I'm the lead designer, and we have Marianne Faulkner and Calico Delafay on staff, but the rest of my retail staff is also very, very skilled.
How long does it take to create a handmade corset on average?
Our corsets are quite varied in complexity. It can be anywhere from cutting to sewing to finishing. The very least that would take would be about 8 hours, and our bespoke corsetry can take weeks, if not months.
What was your favorite corset project you worked on in your career?
In my career, which has spanned over 30 years now, I have made some really, really incredible things. I've worked with incredible people and gotten to do very unique projects. Some of the most memorable are from early days. I worked with a gentleman who really liked leather, and we created some pieces that went literally from the very top of his head down to his toes. So a corset dress, like all encompassing. And we also do a lot of special occasion attire. So endless wedding dresses and commitment ceremonies. I really enjoy working with lace. So here at Dark Garden, they refer to me as the lace whisperer because I really enjoy piecing together lace. It is also like sculpting, much like corsetry, and it's a matter of making something flat into 3D.
Do you have a favorite color when you work with lace or materials?
Well, I do think that black is kind of the best color, but anything sparkly I enjoy as well.
Me too. How often do you buy, or how often do you acquire your supplies? Like, how often are they purchased?
Our supplies are so varied also. They go from rather boring black cotton, or cotton of all colors, and that we are purchasing on a fairly regular basis, maybe even monthly depending on our different color needs. We purchase silk also fairly regularly, maybe once every 3 months or so. I think we're ordering leather every month and a half, so quite a bit. And we're always looking for new and interesting materials to work with.
Where do you usually source your materials from?
Our material sourcing has happened very gradually over the years. We go to fabric shows to meet new representatives of textile companies. I also, whenever I'm traveling, I look for interesting fabrics wherever I go. Some of my favorite fabrics have been from a little store in Paris that I love. but also right here in San Francisco, our local fabric stores are pretty great, the two that we have left.
How much is the baseline of a bespoke corset, roughly?
Our bespoke corsetry starts at in the neighborhood of $3,000 now.
Do you have a signature look to your corsets?
I think that the dark garden silhouette is quite distinctive. There's something specific about our hip to waist to rib ratio that is, people can really tell if it's a dark garden corset because we tend to cup the ribs nicely. We don't over exaggerate them, but they're always held very comfortably. The same goes for the hip, and that means that your waist reduction is easier when the ribs and the hips are gently supported.
Do you have any other unique features?
Unique features for dark garden corsets. Well, our quality is exceptional. We always use really beautiful fabrics that are also very strong. Our stitching is very intentional. One of the marks of quality with a corset is about the stitch length. If you're taking very long stitches, it's really easy for the steel boning to cut through the thread. So we use very short stitches. It also means that the boning casings and the seams mold to the body more nicely than if we used longer stitches. So I think that's something, it's a very subtle difference, and a lot of people wouldn't really realize that that's what they're seeing, but it is a hallmark of our work.
Beautiful. What is the most popular request that you get for corsetry?
Our most popular request varies seasonally and year by year. It's really interesting to see the variations of what people are interested in because we've just been through what we've been through with the pandemic. A lot of people have come out of that with some connective tissue disorders, kind of as a result of the long-term effects of COVID. And so we've been doing a lot of medical corsetry. So people needing kind of an exoskeleton. We also, a lot of people find corsets very comforting, so that's another reason for the medical corsetry. The corset similar to what I'm wearing, where it's a full front and has shoulder straps and a high back. All of this is very supportive, and a good corset feels like a hug. So that's one thing that can be really comforting in times of uncertainty. Other times of year, people are just looking for some waist reduction. So we go through phases of, oh, I just want your smallest corset. Other times there's a little more imagination. Also because we're coming through the pandemic and people are suddenly all getting married that have been postponing their weddings for 2 years. So currently we're making a lot of wedding corsets.
What is the hardest thing about making corsets?
The hardest thing about making corsets is how very exacting you have to be with every aspect of the work. So the important pieces, the important components of every corset are the fit as well as the construction, and that comes back to the patterns that we make, so the paper templates, that's based on the humans we're working with, and also the specific corset style. So we've got the paper pattern has to be very exact, then the cutting has to be very exact, and then the stitching also needs to be very exact. And that all comes down to, because every corset has several seams, if you stitch a single seam or every single seam by a 32nd of an inch incorrectly, suddenly your corset is an inch off. And a lot of corset wearers are very focused on the actual measurement of the corset. So you don't want to supply a size 24 that's actually a size 25. So I think the consistent attention to detail is the thing that a lot of people would find very challenging. Everyone on my team, they're very, very detail oriented, so there's a lot of satisfaction in that, really dialing it in and always getting everything perfect.
Now, I know that sometimes people may gain weight or things change over time. What's the most that you've ever had to redo a corset, like a single corset?
So yeah, remakes are, I think in the business of corsetry, remakes are probably one of the most challenging and heartbreaking things. So if we've made a pattern and gone through the fitting process and for some reason or another the finished corset isn't working out, then we do a remake. We try to avoid that by doing several mock-ups. So when we're doing bespoke work, we start with measurements, and then we create a pattern, and then we do a prototype and do a fitting, and then change it, and then do another fitting, and then do another prototype before we make the actual garment. Because once a corset is created, it's really best not to alter them. I would say, like, you know, in the history of Dark Garden, I think the most challenging one, we only made the corset twice, but there were 6 mock-ups. So a lot of back and forth, and that was someone whose body was very asymmetrical, and I think she had some connective tissue stuff going on, so her asymmetry was shifting throughout the fitting process. So it was like trying to hit a moving target. I think at the end of the day, it was a really exquisite corset, and she was delighted.
I'm really glad that you mentioned that, because it's not common for us to see asymmetrical people. We're drawn to the more conventional type of, biped human body. And so it's great for other people to know that you do that kind of work as well. What is your favorite part of making corsets?
My favorite part of making corsets is absolutely about people putting the corset on, seeing themselves in a new light. My favorite moment is always, I had no idea I could look like this. I had no idea my waist could be so small. Or, it's so much more beautiful than I could ever have imagined. So my favorite part is absolutely my client's experience.
Do you make anything else besides corsets?
At Dark Garden, we make many things. My beginnings were in historical costuming. So from time to time, I actually get to make a historical costume, which I love. We do a lot of wedding attire, special occasion attire. We have a line that we call signature separates, and that's skirts and tops that go with our corsets. And we have a signature group of fabrics, so we can kind of mix and match within that for special occasion attire or slightly less special occasion attire. I think any day can be a special occasion if you dress for it.
How can people find you?
We can be found on the internet, of course, www.darkgarden.com. So that's our website. That will lead you to lots of information about us. We have a flagship store in San Francisco. We have a boutique in New Orleans. And of course, we are also on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter and Patreon. Just look for Dark Garden or Dark Garden San Francisco. You will find us.
Do you offer corset fittings?
We certainly do offer corset fittings. We love fitting people. So our process, because we have 3 levels of purchase, if someone is able to come into one of our boutiques, we take a measurement, we try on our different styles in the size, and then from there together with the client, we choose the best style, size, and fabric combination for them. And often that means that we're making something for them, even though it is part of our ready-to-wear line. It's kind of a made-to-order version of it, in addition to the bespoke work that we do. That is the measurement to pattern to prototype to finished garment.
Wonderful. Shall we go into a fitting?
Let's.
What is your favorite, type?
My favorite style is the one that fits the person the best.
Oh, no, I meant for you.
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
It kind of changes, interestingly. It's because corsets are about how you feel, they're about where you're going, what you want to portray. It's one of the reasons that I really like corsets is that in just this area, you can really convey a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It really changes how you feel in your body. A corset is like instant confidence because it puts you in a position of confidence. Like you're standing up straight, your chest is a little more open. So physically, your body knows that you feel confident, and then that sends a message to your brain that you feel confident, and then suddenly you do.
What would you call this style?
This style is one of our bespoke styles. It's called the Carnival because we originally made it. One of my girlfriends and I, and also our partners, we were going to Carnival in Venice.
Oh, nice.
And needed a corset that was really good under costumes, but also easy to get into. So 18th century costume has this kind of flat front and this kind of bust support, but the busk, the front closure, is a 19th century thing.
Gotcha.
So it's a melding of all of that, and yeah, so
back in the day, would they lace it? Is that?
it would be just laced in the back, like this one is laced.
Okay.
But the first corsets were not bowed with steel. That's actually fairly
New,
recent,
right? Yeah.
right? In the long hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years of corsetry. Lots of other materials have been used. Steel has only been in the last 100 years, less than 100 years. Steel is why corsets went out of fashion too, actually, because for the First World War, sorry, all of the steel needed to go to munitions. So that was the end of corsets as we know them.
Huh, interesting.
And not until the early 90s really did we start
Bringing
this
it back a little
resurgence.
bit.
Yeah.
That makes sense though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my favorite corset style, it changes.
Yeah.
It changes. Sometimes I just want a little thing to throw over an outfit. Sometimes I want to wear this. I love this corset because it's got shoulder straps.
I love that
feel
too.
Very contained.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm clothed rather than like I'm in my underwear.
And you don't have to readjust.
Don't have to move anything. I know that this part, no woman likes her underarms. That's taken care of.
Gotcha.
None of us like on a bra you get.
Let's see.
Yeah, let's look at this. So it's got the high back, so it's supportive all the way up to here,
Love.
And it's nice and smooth here. And for someone, I've gained and lost weight over my life, so my skin is really loose. Actually, it's not very pretty, especially
Doesn't
back
look
here.
like it, but
So this corset, hides a myriad of problems.
Gotcha. I love the shape is so good. I can't stop looking at it because you have like this hourglass figure that's going on. You can still see the shoulder blades, which I really love because that gives like it's sexy to see that. And then there's a line actually coming up. Oh, good lord. You can still see a good chunk of her shoulder blades. And then where the lacing is, it goes straight up the spine. And, one of the most arguably beautiful parts of a woman's body is her neck. Like the back of her neck is being shown right now because she's wearing it in a chignon or however you call it. And so very elegant and just super gorgeous. Yes. When did you actually make this corset?
This particular one, we made for one of our collections. Let me think. It was a while ago. This one is at least 5 years old.
No, it looks brand new. I don't know how often she wears it, but like literally, you can't. It looks like she made it yesterday.
Yeah.
Wow!
At least 5 years old.
Wow! Beautiful.
Yeah.
See, this is the type
about it a lot.
Yeah.
Like, how long does a corset last? And I have corsets that are 15 years old. I mean,
Awesome.
I don't wear them every day.
Of course, but you take good care of them, see everybody, and this is
Buy
the type,
quality.
Yeah, quality over. You're gonna spend the pretty penny up front, but it's gonna last you literally a lifetime.
Yeah, it's a literal investment.
Yeah,
So.
that's wonderful.
Yay! So shall we fit you?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to grab this tape measure.
Okay.
And I'm going to measure your waist, and this is just between me and my tape measure.
Thank you.
And then we're going to start with the cincher for you. No, yes. I'm going to start with the cincher. So this is an underbust corset.
Okay.
Let me see the back. And I'm going to hand that to you and just hang on to that for me. And now go ahead and face me. And I'll get you hooked up. So the way corsets are made now with this front closure, it's made so that you can dress yourself. A lot of people don't believe you can lace yourself, but you can. Just takes a little practice. So now I'm going to lace you up.
Do you have any tips for lacing?
For self-lacing? I sure do. And I also sometimes teach how to lace oneself, lace others. So one of the most important things when you're putting a corset on someone else is to not do it like they do in the movies with the pulling the laces this way. If you just pull the laces to the side, then you don't need anybody to hang onto a bedpost.
No foot against your spine.
Foot against your spine. So dramatic.
I mean, some people are into that.
Right?
I'm not.
It's just for dramatic effect. Yeah, movies have really done a number on corsets because, of course, every movie is about dramatic effect, right? So you want to hear a woman screaming that she can't breathe and oh, it's so tight. And in fact, when a corset fits you really well, it feels like a hug. And additionally, a good corset is the best back support you'll ever find.
I feel like I would have really good posture all the time wearing it, actually.
Yeah. Okay, how's it feeling?
I think this is the most comfortable I've ever been in a corset. And I'm not lying, like I've been in several, but either myself or the person who was lacing me didn't have your knowledge. And so this feels really, really nice. Like I feel like if this is how it is supposed to feel, I would wear one every day, pretty much.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I have a lot of clients who do wear them every day. I go through phases of wearing them every day. I tend to think I don't have time to put on a corset. I mean, as you just experienced it, that was probably 3 minutes. So if I don't have 3 minutes to put on a corset, I'm just being, whatever, lazy.
Yeah, because a lot of people think that it's, oh my gosh, my waist does look a lot. Yeah, wow.
Okay. All right. Good morning. So we will try a couple of other styles on you as well.
This one would be.
This is the cincher.
Cincher. Okay, gotcha. Very nice. I feel like this is one of the most common ones that maybe mistresses have in their wardrobe, just because they are wearing something else underneath it, whether it's a catsuit or a dress. And so this is something that kind of is still, a visible corset, but literally does just cinch in the waist.
Just
and stuff
cinches
like that.
in the waist, exactly.
Gives shape.
That's the name. And it also, there's so much freedom with movement.
Yes, really.
Right.
Like sometimes
it doesn't change your upper body mobility, really.
The breast is barely touching it, so it's not like, for my body personally, it doesn't feel like it's cutting into me at all. And as, Autumn mentioned, it's a hug, literally embrace. Feels good,
nice?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll loosen it first. This is another corset treat.
Yes, please.
Never take it off without loosening it.
Is it just because it's easier, or?
It is because what keeps the busk, the front closure, closed is tension.
Yeah, right.
So if we don't loosen it, then you'll get stuck.
Oh.
So these guys wouldn't come undone if we didn't loosen it.
Got it. Yeah, because sometimes I do realize if I try doing the front, which is what I usually do when I'm by myself, it'll either snap back into place or only half of it will come undone, and I'm like, why isn't the breast coming up? Yeah.
And you can start to feel trapped too.
Ooh.
So, and that's no good. Let me see how we're doing. Yep, I can get you close. Go ahead and face me.
Oh, face it.
Okay. So this is the Cupid. It is, yep. This is this one right here.
Oh, nice.
There's a little bit more to it than the cincher, but it's still an underbust corset. It has one more pattern piece. So what that ends up meaning is that the waist curve is spread out over more of the body. So it's a slightly more subtle compression. And the rib line on it, it has just as much space in the ribs, which I suspect you'll experience, but it tends to look more streamlined.
And then I also noticed there's like a little lip. Yeah, I really like that. It's cute. It really does remind you of like a Cupid's bow.
Yeah. It's also a little bit taller here, and that was about, with the cincher, sometimes if you're just wearing it with a bra, you'll get a little pinch between the bottom of the bra and the top of the corset. So we built this a little bit higher. So that
I love that.
And then also you'll notice the back support goes a little bit higher.
Yes, that one I did. Man, this is what a pro feels like. It's amazing.
That's what the fuss is about.
I'm going to have to train people to do this correctly. Where do you offer teaching how to lace?
We do it in person here every 3 months.
Okay.
And I think, now that we have our online skills, we'll probably continue to post it, live stream it.
Yeah, live stream.
I think our next one is, I'm out of town, I can't remember. It's in May or June.
Okay. But let me know and I'll post that online as well. I don't know if I like this one better. I think I might, just because it has more shape to it too. Yeah. It looks so good. Yeah, and you can wear it over a dress like this, or you could put a skirt underneath with stockings. Oh, the combinations are endless.
Wear it with just bra and all of our corsets have attachments under here for
garters.
Yeah.
Like I said, pro. I love that.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
Good. Do you want to try an Overbust one?
I would. And is there any, do you have any with straps or no? Or
yes, we'll see if I have the right size.
Yay!
You're in luck!
I think that might actually be my favorite Overbust one. Like, I think, is this the Alexandra as well?
It's similar.
Yeah.
They're related.
Yeah.
So the Alexandra, everything that I'm putting on you, these are part of our ready-to-wear line. So if you liked what we have in stock in your size and style, you could purchase one today and be done with it. If you like the style and the size but want a different fabric, then we make that for you. If we find that you really like the style but it's not a perfect fit, then we can do pattern personalization so that it is a perfect fit.
Are the requests that you usually get silks or lace or leather, like a combination of
all of the above?
Okay.
So what we're trying on you, these are all from what we call our style library. It's how we figure out what size and style fit you best. These are all in our cotton poplin, which, because it's the least expensive one, of course, that is what we sell the most of. But our signature fabrics include silk, lace overlay over cotton, and leather. And then, of course, we have lots of special order fabrics. We've got, and also brocade. Brocade being a fabric with a pattern woven in. This corset right here, this is brocade. Okay, let me see your back. And then while I'm lacing, you will do what I call the boob scoop. So you reach with opposite hands and pull your breasts to the center.
All right.
And let's come lacer that way. There we go. And then also really engage your abs while I'm lacing.
Gotcha.
So that kind of keeps everything close to home, as I like to say.
And what does this boob scoop do?
So by, sometimes if you're trying to put your breasts into a bra and you do the same hand as breast, so left hand, left breast, you're pulling the tissue back as you're trying to pull it forward. So the reason that you're crossing your arms is so that you're already pulling everything forward.
I see.
So basically what it does is create more cleavage.
I like
Important thing.
Yes.
I think this is a really good fit for you. This one looks phenomenal in leather. One of my former designers and I came up with this together. We had just been to the Texas latex party. And we said, we need an overbust corset with shoulder straps and it should look like this. We're on the airplane as we were drawing it up.
Very nice. Do you have any current projects that you're working on that you're really excited for?
Let me think. We just finished releasing a collection, our largest collection ever, and the kind of what we're getting to create now because of that collection release is really fun. We worked with a team called Subverse Industries, and they do, normally their focus is leather hats, but they do a lot of, and you can relax now, they do a lot of laser cut and laser etched leather. So our collection has a lot of laser etched and laser cut.
That's so cool.
It's really, really
Is
fun.
this going to be on a runway at all, or like?
It has been.
Okay.
You can see some of that on our Instagram, and website. More of it on our Patreon.
Very cool. Wow. I also really like that the straps are adjustable for this because everybody's like shoulder
For sure.
to breast ratio is different as well. This actually makes me almost look like younger. I don't know if that like
Interesting.
if you I feel like I have more of like a younger girl body, which is like that's not a bad thing. Like the youth is good. So that's like it makes me kind of feel like more Alice in Wonderland-y, if that makes sense. So yeah, thank you so much.
Totally my pleasure. So this corset, when we make it in leather, we do, there's an inset right here, so that can be a contrast. So imagine, if you will, you've got black leather here and maybe patent leather in this inset over the shoulder, and then there's an inset in the back as well. And then sometimes we do what we call triple lacing, so it's grommeted down here and then laces down the front.
On both sides, or just that would be really awesome.
And then the straps in the leather are with buckles rather than bows.
This, and then it looks so good. Okay, and then the next.
So this one is the.
Now, were these custom from like somebody had requested?
So these are from
the show
the
thing?
most recent collection.
Yeah. Wonderful. And what was the collection called again? Oh,
Can't remember.
It's okay. I'll look online.
Oh, Oscura.
Oh, okay. Wonderful. So
And
good.
if you look closely, this is our logo.
Wait. Let's go like that. It's kind of like, the designer branding.
Precisely.
Yes.
Subverse created the lace pattern for us.
Wonderful.
Super
Yeah,
fun
it's
stuff.
really, and then you can change the color of the ribbons, everything.
Absolutely.
So. Do you have different color grommets as well? Like
Different
gold,
color
silver,
grommets. We also have different color busks.
Oh, okay, cool.
So now we can do this in black. We can do it in this really gorgeous candy apple red.
The red would really, like a Louboutin pop on the, yes.
Totally,
yes.
totally. Antique brass. We've also got one that is called Black Fire.
Ooh.
It is so fantastic. It's like iridescent. It's literally iridescent. So from some lights, it's blue or purple or green.
Oh my
That's
god,
like a
I love
everything.
everything. So today I want to thank Adamme so much for having me. This has been such a pleasure meeting you and just seeing all the work that she has produced with her team. Is there anything else that you'd like to say to my viewers?
Well, I'd certainly like to thank you for the opportunity.
Oh no,
I
it was
really
such a
enjoyed our
pleasure.
conversation.
Yes.
And having you here in San Francisco with me at Dark Garden. And please visit us on the web in the many, many different ways that you can find us. For sure, check out our Patreon.
Yeah, all of those will be linked in the description box below. If you want to come in, you can schedule a fitting, also found on their website. So yeah, thanks so much for having us. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it so that other people can learn about corsetry and places that they can actually purchase in store in San Francisco Bay Area. Click that subscribe button, turn on notifications by clicking that bell so that you know when I have new content out. I post a new video every Saturday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, or I live stream then. Go ahead and follow 2 of my membership tiers here on YouTube. You could go check those out on my About page on my channel. And of course, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Mara Domina, OnlyFans, and TikTok at Domina Mara. And I'll see you next time. Be safe, have fun, and keep it geeky, everyone.